Oh, thanks. It's taken years to get my board type setting to this level.
You're doing excellent.
It really has. Okay, so we have a table. Sorry, I'm doing 41 in 7.5. Okay, so I have a table that has average daily maximum temperature in degrees Fahrenheit for Boston each month.
At least they're in Fahrenheit.
Hang on. Average daily max temperature. What in the hell does that mean?
Average.
Are they averaging daily
They're averaging.
and then
the
maximizing?
month, they're averaging the month.
Yeah, so they're taking the high from every single day and then adding them all together and dividing by the number of days in the month. You guys with me on that?
February's the weird.
As opposed to the other option, which might be you average the temperature across the day and then take a month and take the maximum there,
Oh, okay.
which would be the hottest day in the month on average, as opposed to the
Average daily.
average high, right? You guys see that? Okay, so I have the average highs for each month, and then they have me plot this as a function of the number of months past January. Okay, so this is going to be January, which is 0 months past January, to my recollection, right? And I expect that to be 36.4. Okay? Dot. And then 1 month past, you're 37.7 dot, then you're 45 dot, then you're 56.6 dot, then you're 67 dot, then you're 76.6 dot, then you're 81.8, which is not that high. You guys all with me on drawing this picture?
So it's kind of like a.
Yeah, it's probably going to look like a sine wave, right? Why do I expect it to look like a sine wave?
Because it's a periodic function.
Yeah, because basically I expect January to be like January, and I expect February to be like February, right?
No odd months.
Okay, so we might kind of continue this picture, and it's going to look ballpark like this, give or take.
Yeah.
And then I expect this value here to be,
December and 35 months.
I kind of expect that one actually to be next January. Let's see, so I have January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January.
December is lower than January.
Oh, December is lower than January.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I expect the next one to be a slight increase, right? So this is 11 months past January, and this is 12 months past January, in which I will be back in January. You guys feel that? Okay. So, what are the amplitude and the period?
Period is January to January.
Okay, so I expect the period to be
12 months.
12.
Amplitude.
Right, so if you go from 0 to 12, you should be back where you started. Yep, cool. That seems like how years work. And then the amplitude, what's the amplitude of a trig function?
It's halfway between.
The maximum minimum from the midline.
Okay, so I need to know, there's some midline, right? And then there's going to be a maximum and a minimum from the midline.
You want the maximum from the midline.
So if I look at this distance here or that distance there. Okay, but I don't know where the midline is, right?
Just divide the two numbers.
So why don't I take the difference between the highest and the lowest?
46.4.
Okay, so that would be what? July minus December
So 23.2.
is 40,
46.2.
46.2, right?
23.1. Yeah, it'd be 46.
46.4, yes, right.
23.
Jeez, guys, I trusted you.
46.4.
23.2.
Okay, so then the amplitude, right, is 23.2.
Yeah, then you divide that.
You guys see that?
Yeah, because that's
Okay, so my amplitude's 23.2
degrees Fahrenheit.
degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, nice. That's my period, my amplitude. What else do I need to do part C? So part C is make a trig approximation of the function, right?
Oh, sine of.
Does that look like a sine or a cosine to you?
Cosine,
Is it cosine?
because it starts at a minimum.
Yeah, it starts
That's
at a
right, I
minimum.
forget
So
that.
I'd probably think about that as being a cosine.
A negative cosine.
Yeah, probably
Or
a negative
cosine that's been
cosine.
shifted a little.
Yeah, or a sine or something that's been shifted a little bit. You can kind of tweak this on your own. There's going to be a bunch of different ways to skin this particular cat, right? I'm going to do a, let's see. Oh, it doesn't actually start at a minimum now.
Oh,
It starts at a minimum plus 36.
Yeah, so the minimum might be over here in the previous December, right?
Oh, that's true.
Because December was, as far as I can tell, the coldest month ever. Right?
So,
Should be a minimum plus.
Okay, so maybe I should go to a maximum and start things there, right?
81.8.
Okay, so 81.8 is a convenient maximum. That's in month, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
July.
Is July 6 months past January?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start things at July, right? You guys with me on that? Okay, so I'm doing T as a function of temperature as a function of time, right?
Temperature function of
The classic capital T of little t.
time. Do heat, H and T.
Okay, that's good. Because it is actually a thing about highs, right?
Heat, high, yeah, something.
Okay, cool. H of t is probably better because I can keep my variable straight. So I'm thinking first things first, it's a cosine, right?
Cosine.
Okay,
Great.
cool. And then it went,
23.2 goes in front of cosine.
oh, nice. The amplitude's the vertical stretch, right?
Nice, that's right, yeah.
You guys with me on that?
23.2.
Okay, so there's definitely a 23.2 cosine. So I got the vertical stretch down. Then there's some shifting crap for the which month are you in, right? And then there should be a plus.
30.
No, 46.4.
Is it 46.4 or is it 81.8?
Well, how do you know where you're starting?
Yeah, how do you know where you're starting? What's the midline of this?
20.
58.6.
How'd you get that?
Huh?
How'd you get 58.6?
I used the temperature in January and then the max temperature in July and found
Found the,
the middle.
oh, you found an
The
average
average.
there.
Well, the temperature is the same.
I probably would have done this. I probably would have taken the lowest temperature, 35.4, and then added the amplitude, which should get me to midline. And then I would check that by taking that number and adding the amplitude again and checking that that's the maximum. But that's the way I made that thing, right?
It's the same.
So that should be, looks like 58.6.
Oh no, I subtracted the max minus the amplitude.
Yeah, so if you take the max minus the amplitude or the min plus the amplitude, that should get you to the midline. And then the midline was the vertical shift that happened, right? You guys with me on that? And now this is the part that's going to be screwy, because I need two things. I went right by how many units?
6.
Yeah, this
Units.
this guy right here, that's telling you there's a right 6 going on.
Yeah. So. that's
Okay, and then
minus
what
one.
else did I do?
Minus 6.
Yeah, so I do like, I might think, okay, I'll just slap a t minus 6 in here, right?
And then
That'll get me to the right spot. But then, what's cosine's period?
Pi over 6.
Too high.
Yeah, cosine's period is 2 pi, right?
Yeah.
So, is this thing's period 2 pi?
No.
No, this thing's period's 12,
Yeah.
right? So I need to figure out a way to adjust the period, right? I need to take 2 pi and turn it into 12.
So pi over 6.
So it looks like if I multiply by
Oh no, 6 over
6 over pi, right? I want to multiply by 6 over pi. So I need a horizontal stretch by a factor of 6 over pi, right? You guys see that? So on that one, I'd be thinking, I want to take the argument and divide by 6 over pi.
so that's
You guys see that? So I need a horizontal stretch by 6 over pi. Okay, so now I need to know which one happened first. So did you shift right and then stretch, or did you stretch and then shift right?
Wait, I'm
Mhm.
confused why we shifted right.
We stretched first.
because we're starting at a maximum.
Yeah, I wanted a cosine, right?
Okay.
Let me see that blue one. Promise not to appear.
I wanted
Oh,
not to
God.
give it to you.
Okay,
It's like, here's the
So-
rest of my heroin. Only give it to me if I really.
exactly. Here's the rest of my drug. So cosine looks like this, right? Where, and keep in mind the blue scale and the black scale are probably different, right? So from here to there is 2 pi in the blue land, right? And this top occurs at 0, comma, well, 1 in the blue land, right? So I need to make the blue thing fit the black thing, and that bump there looks to me like it got moved over here. So I need a right shift by 6 to get over there.
See, I was thinking that it was a negative cosine function, so,
Sure, yeah, there's a bunch of different ways to skin this particular
Okay.
cat.
okay.
Can we not skin a cat? Because that's just like really.
Okay, we won't harm a cat.
Okay.
There's a bunch of ways to assemble this particular piece of IKEA furniture,
That's not better.
right? Some of them are better than others, but most of them will work.
Thank you.
No, that's not
If
true.
you ever wanna like go.
If you arbitrarily take the parts of an IKEA piece of furniture and put them together in some way, it will not be the furniture.
Sorry,
I've seen a
sorry I
picture of a
distracted
girl
you,
where,
Joe.
like, she put like the back of the chair as like the legs. And she just looks like super defeated because she like built the whole thing and then realized that the back was on the bottom.
I have no doubt that's awesome.
Sorry to
Okay.
distract you.
Anyway, what I need to figure out is, did I do the horizontal stretch first and then the shift, or the shift and then the horizontal stretch?
C. Yes.
Yeah, I think you did the stretch first, adjust the period first, and then do the shift, right? First you want to make the year 12 months long, and then you want to make it start in the right spot. So, how do I do that?
So,
I'm thinking this, right?
where is the rule?
And then the horizontal stretch thing happens first, right?
So is that
So first is closest to the
rule?
rule, right? So that's going to be the furthest right thing. So to get a horizontal stretch of 6 over pi, I need to multiply by pi over 6,
Oh.
right? And then this dude here needs a right shift, so I need a subtract 6 there. So I think in here I got
X minus 6.
pi over 6t minus 6.
Yeah.
And then I should check. Let's see, if I plug 6 in there,
You get pi minus 6.
oh, see, I jacked it up, right? If I plug 6 in there, what do I get?
Pi minus 6. No.
Yeah, I get pi minus 6.
Yeah.
Do I know what the cosine of pi minus 6 is?
I don't know. Do we?
Undefined. I don't know.
So, what did I want? I wanted to do minus 6. Oh, I just jacked this part up, right? I wrote the formula down backwards.
Is it supposed
Because
to?
I actually want to start over here with a t, right? So that should be t, subtract 6, and then multiply by pi over 6.
There's four parentheses.
So I need some parentheses here, which is why you check, right? You know you're going to do that in one order or the other. Another way to figure this out instead of bubble diagramming it is to like try it and see which one works. So here now, if I plug in 6, what do I get here?
Shift, right?
Yeah, so if I plug in 6, I get 0, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Times pi over 6 is
The vertical shift.
0. Cosine at 0 is 1. So you get 23.2 times 1 plus 58.6, which is
The max.
the maximum, 81.8. Yes! Right?
That's good.
And then I should check another one, maybe. So what's your other one? I check the maximum. What else? What other one should I check?
Check the minimum.
Check the minimum. Where should the minimum happen?
36.4.
Should happen in
December.
December.
So 11.
So 11.
Yeah, 11 is the minimum.
Okay, so if I plug in 11, I get.
5.
Why does it seem like that's
Negative,
jacked up?
negative 1. If you plug in 5 for t, you get negative 1.
If I plug in 11,
Or 11.
I get
5.
5. So I get 5 pi over 6,
Isn't that some sort of...
which is some kind of nastiness. But when's that going to be biggest? That's going to be biggest at... What did I torque up here? It's 11 months past January. What did I dink up, guys?
Are
Did I
you
dink
sure?
up my period?
Maybe it's...
The period 11, not 12? That would be weird.
6 over 10?
I should have just said hooray and moved on instead of checking another one, right?
I think we can just safely say that and
Yes.
be fine.
Okay, so what happened? Let's see. My period should be 12 months. Okay. Oh, yeah. I kind of fundamentally dork things. That's a little weird. What's the issue? Anybody see the issue? It's not.
Models are broken up anyways.
Yeah, models are a little borked up anyway, I think is basically my problem. Because my maximum and my minimum, right?
Are different from the, or have
The
different.
period, right, should be 12.
Well, you should
You guys
be
see that?
starting and ending with the
The
same
maximum
number.
should happen in the middle, and the minimum should happen on one of the ends.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
Because they're never...
Why doesn't it happen like that?
Because they're different.
Because they're different minimums.
Yeah, I mean,
There
it
is-
seems like December, right, which should be,
So would this not be periodic?
no, it's periodic, it's just not it's not a sine or a cosine. Right,
I'm
because
just curious because they're.
instead of having lumps that are evenly spaced, right, one of the lumps lags a little bit.
But it's consistently like that.
A lag.
Yeah, but it's consistently like that. So, yeah, it's a model, it's a little borked. It's not going to match all the data points, because it's a model.
Sure.
You guys cool with that?
So if the temperature of July and August were switched, this would be a cosine function?
If the temperature of July and August were switched, how about if the temperatures of December and January
I mean,
were switched?
yeah, either December and January or June and July, sorry.
Yeah, so I think if you're
Well, because then your maximum would be...
if your coldest month and your warmest month were directly opposite of one another, then this would be better modeled by a cosine or a sine. I'm not totally sure that these data points are going to fit anyway.
Right.
Right, like if I put this on here, it would be really surprising to me if it matched up exactly and went through all the data points. Probably it does something like this, right? Where it hits like, oops. Where it hits like a bunch of the data points but misses a few, right? Why would I expect it to miss a few?
Because it's a model.
Because it's a freaking model, right? Plus you're talking about something a little bit weird anyway. You're talking about the average daily maximum temperature, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking about the average high in a month.
If it was just the average temperature.
Yeah, if it was maybe average temperature through the month, I would expect it to be better sine or cosine approximated.
Or just,
If it was daily
Daily
temperature,
temperature.
I would expect it to be a million times worse.
yeah,
Why would I expect daily temperature to be way worse?
because daily temperatures are just all over the place.
Yeah, because daily temperature is all over the freaking place. If it was hourly temperature, I'd expect it to be even more all over the place. Right, because there's more noise.
Yeah.